Welcome to my mini make for this week, and we are going to be making these wonderful spring flowers. Oh my word, I have had so much fun making these, and I hope that you enjoy them as well. The great thing is you can be really creative with these and kind of make the petals the shape that you would like them to be. And you can either put it into a hoop like I have done, or you could get a hoop and put them around the outside to be a wreath. It's totally up to you. Or you could just have them as flowers and put them on a card. We've got Mother's Day and Easter coming up, so what perfect way to use flowers. So this is what we're going to be making, and I'll show you how to make the outside of your flower and the inside of one part of the flower, and then this will be saved so you can go back and then remind yourself of what to do. Okay, so first of all, I am going to make my flower. So I'm going to put the screen down so you can see what I'm doing. Ta-da! Okay, so here I've already got one part of the middle of my flower, and I'm going to do the outside and the other middle. So let's start off with the outside petals. So first of all, if you've got patterned paper, then you want to start your folds with the pattern side. Oh, hang on, yes, pattern side face up. Sorry. Pattern side face up, but because I'm using plain, I'm not having to think about that. I'm folding in half to start off with, horizontally, nice and straightforward, like so. And then I'm going to unfold, rotate 90 degrees, and then fold in half again, horizontally, like so, and then unfold. Okay, so I've done all of those with my pattern side face up. Okay, and then I'm going to turn over and fold in half diagonally. Unfold and rotate 90 degrees. And then fold diagonally again, like so. Now when you open up your paper, you should have eight sections which are going to be triangular. Okay, so you've got these horizontal folds going across and then these diagonals going in the other direction. Okay, we're going to bring all of those together. So pop the center up so that you can see those horizontal folds sticking out. Okay, and then what we're going to do is bring your diagonal folds together. So I'm going to take the two corners and bring them together opposite sides, and then do the same again with the other two opposites, which means that I just squeeze it down and then it makes this diamond shape. And if you have a look at the top, you'll have two folds on either side, and at the bottom you're going to have all these open edges. Okay, so you've got these two folded sides there and there. I'm just going to do that step one more time. Okay, so I had it like this after I'd done my diagonal fold, and then I want to pop the center up so that I can see my horizontal folds, and then I'm going to bring my diagonal folds together so the two opposite corners will come together like so, and then like so. And now I'm going to fold these folded edges to be in line with the center fold that I've got here. So I'm going to do all four layers. So I've got one layer there, outside edge folded in line with the center fold. Do the same again on the opposite side, like so. Rotate around. I completely forgot to tell you what size this paper is. I'm so sorry. So this is 10 by 10 centimeters. The smaller ones are 5 by 5 centimeters. As with all my folds, you can make them bigger or smaller though, depending on what size you would like it to be. I'm just going to fold that fourth folded edge in towards the center fold like so. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is cut that bottom section off, like so. So yeah, we're going to need to use scissors. You are also going to need to use glue in a bit as well. This all is stated in the description of the mini make. So it's now looking like so. I've just literally cut that top section off, and now I've got these pieces here. Now, one at a time, I'm going to open up my fold and then completely open up those two pieces there to separate them and fold them in on themselves. What I want to do is basically make this fold go all the way into the center so that these folds are inverted. So I'm literally just pushing that all the way into the center and then folding those back on themselves like so. So it now looks like that. I've now got two folds there instead of just the one. I'll repeat the same again on this side. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to completely open up inside there. And then I'm going to fold this right into the center and fold the others back on themselves. I'm then going to turn over and do the same again on the other side. So open it up. It's really helpful at this stage to hold on to the rest of the paper while you're doing it. So that outside edge is going right into the middle, so that you don't get confused about where you're up to. And now I've got this last one here. This is my last one that's only one fold. All the rest are two folds. So I'm going to open up there, and then fold in like so. Okay, so it now should be looking like so. We're now at the stage where we're going to cut these. These are all of our petals folded together. We're going to cut them into a petal shape. Okay, so to do that, you've got to imagine that it's going to be half the petal shape and you're cutting in towards the center. So I'm going to make these petal shapes quite curved, and this is where you've got a bit of creative freedom, because you could make them really pointy and do really long pointy cuts, which I've done with this flower here. So I've made the cut go in like so and then back that way like so. You could do them a little bit more curved like this one. And so you've just got to visualize how you want your petals to look and then cut in the way that you want that shape to be. So I'm going to do some that are a little bit more curvy for this one. So I'm working my way around in a kind of curved shape like so. And then I'm going to do the same again. Oh, it's quite squarey curved, these ones. Like so. It's almost like a heart shape. Okay, well, let's see what this looks like. The great thing about this is then once you start opening out your petals, and there you should have your flower. Oh, I like it. Now, if you aren't happy with your petal shapes, you can always fold it back down again into the shape that it was in and then recut. But I'm actually really happy with that shape. Okay, and what we now do is completely repeat those steps, but with our smaller squares. And that's what's going to then make the center of your flower. Essentially, it is kind of where the pollen is, but obviously this is a paper flower, so I'm just kind of using my own creative freedom to just create them however I want them to look. So here I've already got one for the center. I normally would do two because I think it looks really nice to have those two center parts. You're using the same size squares for those center parts, but you want to make one slightly smaller. So when we do the cutting at the very end, your second one's going to be smaller. This is my my bit that I'm going to keep at the back of the center. So I'm keeping that size, but I'm going to make this one a little bit smaller. So let's do those steps again. So we're now using our teeny tiny paper, and we're going to fold in half horizontally. So it's literally exactly the same as we've just done. Unfold, rotate 90 degrees, and then fold again in the other direction. And then we want to turn the paper over and fold in half diagonally, like so. Unfold, rotate 90 degrees, and then fold diagonally again. If you've just joined us, it's okay. This is going to be saved and you can watch it over again. This is exactly the same as what we did with the large part of our petals. And we did all these steps with the 10 by 10 centimeter squares, and now this is me just making my final 5 by 5 centimeter square. So I'm going to just pop that center up like I did last time, and then bring the corners together so that those horizontal folds stand out and I've got a bit of a diamond shape. I now want to fold those folded edges into the center fold, and there's going to be 4 of those. So 1, 2, this square is going a little bit wonky for me. 2, 3, 4. I should have double checked that this 5 by 5 was a very accurate 5 by 5, but it's going to end up looking like so. Okay, so I've folded the folded edges to be in line with the center fold, and I did 1, 2 on this side, turned over and did the other 2 on that side. If you've just joined us, I've gone through this much slower pace for my larger square, for my 10 by 10 square. Okay, from there, I'm then going to cut these top triangle pieces off, like so. Do use this as confetti and things later, because it's good to still use all those pieces of paper that you've taken off. And now what we're going to do is we're going to invert all these folds. So we're going to open up one at a time, like so. I've got one, and I'm going to open it all the way up and fold this outside edge right into the middle, like so, and fold it back on itself. I'm going to do that the same again on this side. Open it up, fold it right back in on itself, and over again, like so. So now you should see no folded edges. If you turn over, you can now see some folded edges. Those are ones that I still need to do. So I'm going to open this one up, get right in there, and fold it back in on itself. Oh, if I can. This one's being silly. Like so. There we go. And then the last one, I'm going to open up that last edge and then fold it in on itself, like so. And now I'm at the stage where I'm going to cut it into my petal shape. Now, if you remember, I've already made my larger inside piece. So with this 5 by 5 centimeter square, I'm going to make it slightly smaller. So I'm going to make it quite pointy, I think. I quite like the way with this one, if you see the center there, it's got really pointy edges. And so I'm going to cut, I'm going to go almost, I'd say half a centimetre down to start my cutting. So I'm doing a nice straight point there, and then I'm going to do another really straight point from this side. I love the fact that you really can just make the petals whatever shape you fancy. And for that reason, I would love to see the flowers that you have made. Please, please, please do tag me on all social media if you have a go at making these. Right, so I'm now at the point where I'm just going to open that out. I'm slightly just evening out all the petals so that they're, well, petals, the centerpiece, so it's kind of evenly distributed. And I'll open it out and it's all spiky like so. And then that's going to go in the middle. Check you're happy with how your flower looks. And then this is the stage where you want to get your Yoo-hoo glue. Here's mine. Or similar, it doesn't have to be Yoo-hoo, but Yoo-hoo is what I find the best because it means it just dries quickly and really securely. I'm going to put a little bit of glue, Yoo-hoo glue, on my bigger inside piece. And I'm literally just doing it on the very center part, sticking it in. And then I'm going to do the same again on my smaller centerpiece. Stick it there. And that is done like so. Right, now while that is drying, I'm just going to quickly show you. If you are doing yours for a hoop, I have got my next hoop nearly ready. So I'm using this lovely netting. It was something that I was using for like a drape in my daughter's room a very long time ago, and we stopped using it for that. So this was kind of leftover fabric, and I thought, perfect, it will look really good in a hoop. So if you're not familiar with using hoops, I'll just quickly show you that I have placed it inside there and tightened it up so it's really nice and tight. And then I'm just going to use my scissors to cut around the outside edge. And I don't want any of it to show. So I'm really literally going to cut right around the edge. So if you've got some fabric that you're using and it's transparent like this is, then do the same, cut right around the edges so you can't see the back of it. That's quite important for the aesthetic. But then if you've got other fabrics, I mean, it would look lush if you put it on some velvet or something like that. Then with that, you would want a little bit of fabric left over that you then would just tuck away at the back. And hopefully that's something that you know how to do anyway. But I just wanted to show you this part of the process, just in case it's something you're unfamiliar with. So that's all cut off. I've not got any around the back there, and you can't see it. Brilliant. And now I'm literally just going to position my flowers and stick them down with some Yoo-hoo glue. So I've got this one, this one. I found that 3 on this kind of sized hoop works really well. And there's my 3rd. And I just will put some Yoo-hoo glue on the bottom center again. Even with this netting, I've found that it's dried really, really well. 1, 2, and my baby is crying. 3. So I'm going to have to go because my little boy is crying. But there you have it. Please, please, please do tag me in anything that you've made from this tutorial. I would love to see what you've made. And please do join me for next week's make. It's going to be something spring-like again. And it should be lots and lots of fun. So that's not quite dry yet, but there's my next week. Yay! Thank you very much for joining me. Bye.